Yo, guys, Urb'n Barz brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And guys, we've got our man NF here, and this track's called Breathe, and apparently it's just an audio version. And guys, I apologize, I got something wrong in my voice. I've got a problem swallowing and etc. So if I'm cutting in and cutting out, it's because of that, guys. I really need to breathe. But guys, let's go ahead. Let's check out this track from our man NF. I think it's from the Therapy album, the Therapy Session album. And guys, I'm enjoying the ride. So let's check out our man NF and Breathe. Who's the girl? I love her voice. But it's nice to see NF start the track with the breathing, etc. And then he's harmonizing. Oh my goodness. Guys, let's drop this in one last time.
Grew up in a small place, had to drive an hour just to see a movie.
Oh my gosh, so our man NF just said he grew up in a small place, had to drive an hour just to see a movie. So it looks like he lived in a rural area when he was growing up. So obviously it'd be an area where everyone knows each other, very small community, but also reasonably isolated as well. So it's almost like siloed, you know, you're siloed here, siloed there. Everything is in that small place. Everyone knows your business, you know. So, and also if you wanted to be different, you stand out like a sore thumb. So literally, you know, there's good things and there's bad things about being in a rural community. So, you know, I'm not dissing a rural community at all. And I'm not bigging up neither, because I know there's good and bad, etc. But NF is just saying, you know, he grew up in a rural place and he had to go far just to get out of that place, you know. So it reminds me of the, is it the Amish people kind of thing? I'm not saying he's Amish at all, don't get me wrong here, but what I'm saying though is those people are very sort of insular in their, you know, in what they have. And what I'm trying to say about that as well with the Amish people is that because they are quite insular, they're not exposed to everything that we take for granted, which could be a good thing, but it could also be not so good. I'm just saying that, guys. So this is the way I think this track is going. But yeah, I know that. So I think what NF is going to say is that, you know, you have to go far to get anything. So literally, you know, he's kind of cocooned, you know. Let's check it out.
Grew up in a small place, had to drive an hour just to see a movie. I'm a simple person, city life just doesn't move me.
There you go. I'm a simple person. City life just doesn't move me. And guys, I know there's a lot. I know enough people who come from places like South Africa and all these other places, and they grew up in rural areas. And they said to me, this is only a few years ago, they couldn't stand the pace of the city, the bright lights, big city and all that sort of stuff. It just wasn't right for them. And they couldn't wait to get back to where, you know, they were from, kind of thing, get away from the city. So it's funny, where you grew up, whatever, is what you're used to, you know, even in this day and age. I like that. Let's just wheel back one more time.
Grew up in a small place, had to drive an hour just to see a movie. I'm a simple person, city life just doesn't move me. I'd rather be home with my grandparents and playing euchre. Didn't want to leave, but this dream's calling, I had to do it.
There you go. I'd rather be at home with my grandparents playing euchre Is that ukulele or is that something else? I didn't quite catch that. But simple life, guys. Sometimes the simple life is the best life. Trust me on that, guys. You haven't got as many worries and troubles, you know? The big city is not paved in the gold that they keep telling you it is. It is not. Trust me on that.
I'd rather be home with my grandparents and playing euchre. Didn't want to leave, but this dream's calling. I had to do it. I left my girl there. Wish I would have done it different. And she was right when she told me that I don't never listen. I told her I would change a million times and never did it. Apologies don't mean a thing if you don't ever fix it.
Apologies don't mean a thing if you don't ever fix it. Whoa. And guys, this is the very first time I'm listening to this track. I've not heard a second of it before 2-3 minutes ago. Oh my gosh. And again, this is a different NF. I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. Love it, love it, love it.
Love what I do, but it's not what I expected. This industry is not your friend. Well, that's my...
It's not what I expected. This industry is not your friend. I love that. I love that. I remember watching back in the days, guys, I've watched so many different things and stories and things from way back in the days. But there was a series that if you can ever get your hands on it, guys, I would urge you to watch it. It's called I, Claudius. Comma, I was about to say apostrophe, I, comma, Claudius, set about the Roman emperors, guys. And there was one thing, and was he talking to King Herod? I'm not sure. And Herod said to Claudius, in this world, trust nobody, not your best friend, not your mother, not your this, not that, trust no one. I always remember those kind of words, guys. And this is what he's saying here. The industry is not your friend. They're always going to tell you, trust me, trust me, trust me, do this, do that. Trust me, we'll get you there. No, 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 no. Trust no one. Trust no one. God, I've got to watch that again then. I, Claudius, I need to dig that out.
Fix it. I love what I do, but it's not what I expected. This industry is not your friend. Well, that's my perspective.
It's not your friend, but it's my perspective.
Sometimes the closest people to you make you feel protected.
Sometimes the closest people make you feel protected. Hold on. What's he going to say next? What's he going to say next?
But those are the same people that hurt you most. And
there you go. Those are the same people that hurt you most. Sometimes they don't hurt you on purpose, but love can be great or love can hurt you. And trust me on this, guys. You need to see that series, I, Claudius. I can't remember the words verbatim, but he said, trust no one in this life. Not your best friend, not your wife, not your children, not your whatever. Trust no one. Because, guys, if you put your whole trust in someone, they will let you down. Oh, my gosh. Trust me on this. You hear that? I've just said, trust me on this. I say that a lot. Trust me on this. But, guys, and sometimes I say it because I actually really do mean it. And literally, I can honestly say that I can't think of any time I've promised something and not delivered on it. You know, I would always do anything for my friends, whatever. But I will still say to you, don't trust anyone. Not in this life. Don't trust anyone. Guys, I need to reel that again. Oh my gosh.
industry is not your friend.
Industry is not your friend, but it's my perspective. I just knew he was going to come out with this, guys. I just knew it. Because it's true. When you replay your life, replay it like a video. Trust me. Oh my goodness.
But it's not what I expected. This industry is not your friend. Well, that's my perspective. Sometimes the closest people to you make you feel protected, but those are the same people that hurt you most and leave you guessing. Some people say nobody's perfect, but expect perfection.
Oh, I love that. Nobody's perfect. Some people say nobody's perfect, but they expect perfection. They expect perfection from you, not from them, but from you.
How you supposed to find the answer if you don't ask the question? Sometimes I look into the mirror and talk to my reflection. When I go home and turn the music off, what am I left with?
Sometimes I look in the mirror and check my was it and ask questions from my reflection? Guys, I think this track is probably the best track I've heard from NF. I've only heard 1 minute and 27 seconds so far. Oh, this track is getting me thinking, guys.
find the answer if you don't ask the question. Sometimes I look into the mirror and talk to my reflection. When I go home and turn the music off, what am I left with?
Sometimes I turn the music off, but what am I left with? I love all these sounds. This girl's voice is absolutely beautiful. Excuse me.
We used to be close, but as time passed, we became disconnected. You never felt loved, and I always felt disrespected. Your family thought I was a joke. I was always defensive. They just wanted what was best for you. I just couldn't accept it.
I just wanted what's best for you. I just couldn't accept it. Guys, I just realized on this tune, it's mainly with vibes and, you know, vox from, you know, male, his voice, and this lady's voice as well. But we just got a really sort of, what's that word you call it? But the kick, it's like a dead kick. So it's muffled. Maybe is it a muffled kick? I'm not sure. There's no snares going on in this track. Oh my gosh. And the reason they done this is because everything he's saying stands out even more. I've just realized there's no snares. Oh, this is unbelievable.
Felt disrespected. Your family thought I was a joke. I was always defensive. They just wanted what was best for you. I just couldn't accept it. And hurting you was not a part of my plan or my intentions. But I was immature. I guess I had to learn some lessons. We grew apart and our lives went in different directions. And there's a lot of responsibilities that I neglected.
We grew apart and our lives went in different directions, and there were a lot of responsibilities that I neglected.
I had a lot that was bottled inside, couldn't express it. And this pain won't leave. I can feel the depression. It's taking over my
This pain won't leave. I can feel this depression. It's taken over my
body. Feels like I'm always stressing. Doctor told me I should sleep, but I'm always restless.
That's the funniest thing when you go through these things where you have depressions, anxiety, etc. They tell you, oh, go home, get some rest. But how can you rest? Because it's almost like monkey mind. The more you want to try and rest and recuperate and relax, the more these things go through your mind, and it becomes a vicious circle. And then whatever is troubling you just gets magnified tenfold. It's crazy.
I lay awake at night and think my thoughts are relentless. I need a moment.
There you go. I lay at night and think my thoughts are relentless. Monkey mind. I went through a few years ago a real bad problem with insomnia. Like, my dad was an insomniac, but he was a light sleeping insomniac. Really? But then I went through that for a few years. It was awful. I didn't have it all the time, thank goodness. But when I got it bad. Oh, I spent many an hour just laying in bed, just thinking, it's probably time to get up now. And literally I was exhausted from morning till night. Exhausted. That was not a good time, guys.
My thoughts are relentless. I need a moment to breathe. I need a moment to vent this. I seem to be the only person that I play pretend with. And when I turn the music off, what am I really left with, huh?
This track is beautiful, guys. Absolutely fantastic. And this track works so well. They've taken the snares out, thank goodness. But also it works so well because it's not in the video. It actually works. Guys, I grew up in a time before this. Well, it wasn't before MTV because that's not true. But I grew up in a time when music was meant, well, primarily was listened to. It wasn't watched. I mean, friends who started up music channels, etc. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to go into that kind of thing. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. But back in the days, guys, we listened to music. So like all the artists, it took us ages. It had to wait till we had a tape cassette or the vinyl that came out to actually see who the artist was, and a lot of times there was no cover, no picture, sort of like photograph of the artist on the cover anyway. So nowadays it's straight to video kind of thing, so that's what people see. So it's music, it's audio and visual, whereas before it was just audio. So this is an audio track for me, and it's just something brilliant because your mind would start to wander. Your mind painted the pictures. We didn't get shown the pictures until many weeks, months later, kind of thing. But this is a beautiful track, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, yeah. I think like back in the days, music was made really to be listened to and to be felt. But now it's made to be watched and listened and felt at the same time, kind of thing. But this track works so well for me. Breathe, brilliant. And do you know something? I just looked here. It's called Therapy Session. So this is therapy for my man here, NF, but it's therapy for me and probably therapy for you and whoever else is listening to it. I mean, it's an absolutely incredible track. I absolutely love this track, and I will listen to it a million more times. I think it's my favorite NF track, and I love NF. Every single track I hear, I keep saying it's my favorite. I absolutely love this. I mean, we only got like a minute into it, and I was just like, really, really, oh, guys, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if people are sleeping on NF, then they've been sleeping too long. Guys, absolutely love that. I hope you like that track. I hope you like my reaction. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel here at Urb'n Barz. And guys, I'm trying to do 2 NF tracks a week. I will not be able to do it every single time, but I'm going to try and get 2 NF reactions in each week just to catch up with how many albums he's dropped, etc., etc. I'm enjoying the journey. I hope you are too, guys. And I absolutely love listening to NF and breaking it down. So guys, like, share, and subscribe, and make certain you come back to the next reaction. Have a great evening, whatever you get up to. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and make certain that you come